So in regards to my drone adventure, which is an upcoming adventure, I put a playlist up on my channel called Sky King 1. And what I have done for the last 7 or 8 days is religiously at least 2 or 3 hours a day. I have taken the advice of Flywoods One, Simulacron, my friend George, who may or may not come on the channel as Handsome. That's his name, Handsome, on YouTube. That's his YouTube channel. And several other people. And the advice of everybody in the videos that I have in the playlist called Sky King 1 on my channel. Because I will tell you that this becoming a drone pilot, there's a lot more to it. There is a lot more to it than you would think would be involved. So I think I have 5 videos on the playlist. Now, each of those videos I have watched 5 or 6 or 7 times, because every time you hear the video, you hear a little nuance of piece of advice, something about how to adjust APAS, or something about how to use the 1-inch sensor that it will take a picture as a digital picture that you can later zoom in on, but you can't zoom in while you're taking a picture, but you can still use the camera on the Mavic Air 2S, as in Sierra. You can zoom with the camera, and then you can go 4,000 resolution or 5,400 resolution. And there is, and you won't hear all of those little pieces of information the first time you listen to the video. So just like when I had to do a job on an aircraft, you had to read the book, then read the book again, then read the book again, the job in the book. You would read it 2 or 3 or 4 times. Then you would put the book on the table while you were doing the job, and you would review what it says in the book, because there's just all these new pieces of information. And as an A&P mechanic, you learn to do your research first, then read it. You don't have to worry about whether or not you understand it. The information is too vast for you to understand. Same thing with the drone videos. There's too much information to understand the first or the second or the third time you hear the video. So what I've been doing is going back and forth to those 5 videos and maybe 1 or 2 others that I didn't put in the playlist. And I listen to each one of those for as long as you can, to listen to constant information going into your mind for 15 minutes, if you're focusing, is about the limit for most people. I can get through about a half an hour of solid pieces of information. Then I shut it off and I go do something else, and then I come back to it later on. That's how, there's so much information. So in those videos, it gives you, for instance, to start the drone up. There's several ways to start the drone up. But when you put your GPS coordinate in the drone and you don't listen to that video 2 or 3 times, where inside the middle of the video, it tells you that when you set your original GPS coordinate and you take off from your landing pad, if you just take off up 2 meters or so and then take off across the field, the GPS coordinate is not set exactly. However, if you take off and go up a minimum of 30 feet, it has more accuracy to set the GPS coordinate for the return home on the drone. So when you look at one video, it says just set the coordinate and take off, go fly. But But the nuance of that is to take off and go up a minimum of 30 feet. And then depending on how many, what they call satellites, you have, it sets the coordinate more accurate than if you were to take off and then go horizontal across the field. Now, going horizontal across the field, it will come back and return home, but you may be off 2 meters with this Mavic Air 2S, as in Sierra. But if you go up 30 feet and set the GPS coordinate, it may very well land on the pad, but it may not. It may land 1.5 to 2 feet away from the pad. So you guys that are in the chat, I don't know who you are. If you're not a member of my community, I normally don't watch of the chat. I'll take a look to see if there's any of my friends are in the chat, but you guys got to understand, I normally don't watch. Now, if you want your comment to be read aloud or you have a question, you're welcome to leave a question and a super chat, and then I will acknowledge your question, because what I've noticed is that there's a lot of you people that just want to come here and interrupt my stream. For some reason, you feel that you have the right to come and interrupt my stream. So I'm going to go see if any of my personal friends or donators to the channel or friends of mine via Super Chat or Patreon are here. And if there are none, well, then I'll just continue with my dissertation on the delivery process. Delivery process. Okay, we're done with. We'll just start eliminating people right now. Hide this user on the channel. Hide that user on the channel. Okay, so I think we got rid of most of the bots, and goodbye, bots. The bots came. You guys think it's funny to come and interrupt somebody else's live stream because you don't have any content? It's not fair to me. But what is fair to me is that I can block you permanently forever to come on my channel. That's reasonable. So to make it clear, again, now that I've blocked everybody, if you want your comment read, if you want to be noticed, become a member of my Patreon community, send me a super chat, ask me a legitimate question. I don't want people to come to my channel and say hello. I don't want that. Then I have to respond to you. Do you know that if I would have never blocked anybody, all I would do all day is say hello, 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 hello. That's not what a live stream should be about. You have 3 options. You can watch, enjoy the show. You can super chat. I'll read your comment, even if it's hello. You can become a member of my Patreon community, and then I'll read your comment. Other than that, there are no more comments being read from anybody unless you're my personal friend or a member of my Patreon account or someone that has super chatted me in the past on a regular basis. Other than that, nobody gets a hello, a shout out. I don't care if you watch. I don't care if you don't watch. It makes no difference to me. Now, as far as going to the playlist on my channel, I have a playlist called Sky King 1. I'm going to be going through more videos that are pertinent to the Mavic Air 2S, as in Sierra, S as in Superman, okay? And I'm going to go through those videos, and I will point out, when I feel confident enough, I will point out the nuances of the Mavic Air 2S. Now, what I will tell you is that every review in the playlist that I have on my channel, Sky King 1, each and every of the narrators are professional drone pilots, and pretty much they do reviews on all the different drones. So these are not people like myself. I am new at this. These are people that have the Mavic 2, the Mavic 3, the Mavic Mini 2, the Mavic Mini 3, the Mavic Air 2, the Mavic Air 2S, and every other drone above and below that with every option. There's one fella that I just finished watching. I think that Captain Drone. I just put his video in the. I just put his video in the playlist, and I don't remember what his name was. I forget, but Captain. I think his name was Captain Drone. It's the newest video I put in the playlist. He has about 6 drones that he puts up on the screen, and he goes through the heritage of the Mavic Pro series and all the different options that are in from the Mavic 1, 2, and 3, Mavic Mini 1, Mavic Mini 2, Mavic Mini 3, and then he compares it to the Mavic Air 2. And he says that the Mavic Air 3, the Mavic 3, that's a top-of-the-line model for about $3,000. So what Mavic understood is that they were losing money because they didn't have a medium-price drone with some of those options. So what they did was they created the Mavic Air 2. And then they put some of the options for the Mavic 3 in the Mavic Air 2, but at less than half the price, a third of the price. We're talking, it went from $3,500 for the Mavic 3 down to $1,000 for the Mavic Air 2, depending on the option package that you buy. If you buy the combo pack, which is another whole entire series of things you need to know, whether you should buy the combo pack or not, whether you should buy the drone as a standalone item, and then buy the peripherals, which is the way to go. That is the way to go, 100%. It's cheaper, you get better products, and you don't get stuck with stuff that you're never going to use. So I'll go into that momentarily. So the Mavic Air 2 came out, but it didn't have front sensors that sense on high, above sensors. It had forward sensors, it had back sensors, it had down sensors, but it didn't have up sensors. So what they did on the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman, they put 2 more sensors on the top of the drone. So they put 2 forward and 2 up. Now, the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman, detects small branches or will not go up into a tree. It will detect above the drone in flight going up, ascending. They call that ascending. Descending, it has sensors on the bottom. It will not land on an uneven surface, or it won't land on top of a person or a chair. It will stop above the chair. Now, that's another nuance in the drone that you wouldn't know exists if you don't watch all of these videos. You can have something called APAS, where the drone's coming into and sees an object and it stops. You can set the drone to stop in front of the object. Or you can set the drone to go around the object. That's an option, and it's on the screen of your phone that you set whilst reviewing the screen of the phone. I didn't know that. No one knows that. That's one of those little nuances that. Now, another big feature of the drones is that you have three different levels of flight: sign, normal, and sport mode. Now, this drone that I have on order flies 42 miles an hour. Okay, that's very fast. Not the fastest. The Mavic 3 flies at 48 miles an hour. However, this is another nuance of instructions that you get while you watch the videos on my playlist. But I'm talking about watching those 5 or 6 videos for 30 plus hours. 30 plus hours in just the last few days. And what I'm talking about is that you will not hear any of that stuff unless you listen to those videos on a regular daily basis, time after time after time after time after time. You're not going to hear those little nuances. So in the sign mode, that's the slow mode, where when you make a turn, when you rotate the drone on its horizontal axis, it turns slowly. In the normal mode, it turns a little bit faster. In the sport mode, it turns at its fastest. But the setback is in the sign mode, the drone flies slow and takes a while to go around the tree. In the normal mode, it goes around the tree a little bit faster. In the sport mode, all constraints, all sensors are turned off in the sport mode. So if you fly the drone towards a tree in the sign mode or the normal mode, it will sense the tree and go around it. If you fly the drone in the sport mode towards the tree, it's going to hit the tree. So those are the things that you have to be aware of. I don't understand why you trolls are here. You know you're going to get blocked. What's the point? So, in the sport mode, the drone has no sensors except down when it's landing. The down sensors are never going to get turned off on any drone in the sport mode. But in the Mavic 3, the Mavic Air 2, the Mavic Air 2S, all sensors are shut off except the landing or downward sensors, the descending sensors. That's important to know, because the fella that, when he just bought the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman, he put it in sport mode and flew it straight into a tree. It's on the video. It's on his video. And I found it pretty interesting that he left it on the video, because he crashed his drone into the tree. Now, that could be a $1,000 error. So what he did was he left it in, and that made a lot of comments that, he's at least he's an honest, pilot, and he showed the crash. The crash was pretty intense. The drone went. Now, there are 2 other men that I have them in the playlist also. They have a drone video where 2 of them fly around an old racetrack in Tennessee or someplace like that. That video, you want to watch 2 guys go nuts with a drone. They don't talk about the capabilities of a drone. They don't talk about the options on a drone. These 2 guys are just flying around the racetrack at 45, 50 miles an hour, and they're crashing into one another in flight, crashing into one another, and then they're running their drones underneath the bleachers, which is about a 36-inch height, at full speed, at 48 miles an hour. They're running the drone underneath the bleachers and through the railings. You got to remember now, there's no sensors in the sport mode. And then they go around this old racetrack. It's an abandoned motor car track, and they hit each other once during the flight, and then one of them hits a staircase, and then the other one says, "I'll get you out," and then smashes into the drone to get him out, and then they both get stuck. It's a funny video, but it's not. It's not. It's not an educational video. So there are a lot of videos out there with drones and people that fly drones. But if you want to know how many different options there are, you have to watch the videos I'm posting on my playlist. Pretty much cover all the options for the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman. It you have to pick a drone and then learn about that drone, because there are hundreds and hundreds of options. Now, the same goes true with purchasing a drone. Now, I will tell you right up front, if you've gotten this far and you want to buy a drone, my friend George from New York, he explained to me, don't buy. Every drone comes with a Fly More combo, FLYMORE combo. Every drone comes with that. He said, don't buy the Fly More combo. So I'm just going to round it out for you. Mavic Air 2S, we're just going to use round numbers. These are not the real prices, a little bit more. The Mavic Air 2S is $1,000. But the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman, $1,000, plus the Fly More combo is $1,500. Just round numbers. However, with the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman, you get a case that will fit the items of the Mavic Air 2S, as in Superman, package. So in other words, it looks like a big binocular case, actually, and it fits whatever's in the Air 2 combo kit. But, and this is a big but, especially here in the Philippines, because they have rules. It does not include a security covering for the batteries. In other words, the batteries that are in the drones can somehow blow up. I don't know how that works, but somehow it's possible for them to blow up. So the case that comes with the Mavic Air 2S and the combo case will fit the batteries, but it will not secure the batteries against an explosion. Therefore, you cannot fly on an airplane in some airlines with that case. So, you have to buy a fireproof and explosion-proof case specifically for the batteries. It comes a little case about that big, like that big, that high and wide, and about that thick. Fits 3 batteries in it. That case is about $20. But you can buy that same case that is explosion and fireproof for the drone for $80, $60. Depends on which case that you buy. And it fits the Mavic Air 2S plus the Mavic Air 2S 6-way charger, which is not part of the combo. We don't. Okay, I am a former Air Force captain. Took me 14 years to get my drone license. We don't like fly-by-night schmucks like you moving into the drone genre. Okay, so you're gone. I don't care what you like. It makes no difference to me. I am buying a drone and I am giving people information about the possibilities to buy a drone and or how they should research buying a drone. You are not an Air Force captain. No Air Force captain would say what you said. Officer and a gentleman type stuff. Nobody in the Air Force as a captain would have any problem at all about what I have given my audience. So you are ancient history. You got your name up on the board. I read it because it said you're an Air Force captain. You're not an Air Force captain. No Air Force captain would say what you said. And the guy who was busy mongering is gone as well. So, the case that you have to buy if you're going to do traveling is a fireproof and an explosion-proof case. That's about between $60 and $80. Now, in regards to buying the Fly More package as opposed to buying separate items, here is why you want to buy individual items. The drone, $1,000. It comes with one battery, and you can only charge it in the drone or a single battery charger, one wire, something that looks like this. One wire will go into the back of the drone, and then you have to have a different wire to charge the controller. So you'd have to charge the drone and then charge the controller. If you have one battery and you're going to fly for half an hour, then that would be okay. And that guy he said it took him 14 years to get a drone license. It's not hard to do that. He's lying right across the board. All you have to do is take an online test. That's it. Not complicated. It's not complicated at all. And of course you have to read the rules and regulations and the restrictions where you are. So that guy lied. Doesn't take 14 years to get a drone license. Doesn't take 14 months to get a pilot's license, let alone a drone license. Well, he got his name up on the board, and he called me a schmuck, and he was lying straight across the board. So if you buy a drone for $1,000, okay, we have more trolling going on here. We have more work to do. Oh, I don't believe that. Come on. 14 years to get a drone license. You guys are history, man. 14 years to get a drone license? Really? What nonsense is this? Okay, so you can get a drone license in a couple of weeks by taking a test if you're in America. This is trolling. This is trolling at its best. Okay. On a community post, on a drone board, they were talking about me, telling you it doesn't take 14 years. 14 years. You can become a brain surgeon and a doctor and a dermatologist and a dentist. These people are trolling. Good trolls. It's a good trolling comment, but it's not true. Now, we won't even discuss this anymore. The Bantayan Brawler. He would know. The Bantayan Brawler. It took him 14 years to learn how to spell troll. Now, if in fact anybody could tell you what you could do in 14 years as far as education and or job preferences, the Bantayan Brawler. He will confirm it doesn't take 14 years to get a drone license because he has intelligence. Anybody with intelligence is going to know in 14 years you could literally sign up. Let's say you could sign up into the COP, Civil Air Patrol, in high school. You could go to Oakdale College in Long Island and flight school at Oakdale College in Long Island, New York. You could come out as a dual engine pilot, instrument rated, and you could go into the Air Force or the Navy or the Marines as a dual engine certified pilot. And you could be a captain of a jet fighter or refueler in a matter of about 6 years. So you would need 4 years of college, and 6 is 10, and you come out as a pilot for a fighter jet or a refueler, and faster depending on your ability to learn. So moving back, if you buy the Fly More package, it's $1,500. It's actually $1,400. $1,000 for the drone, $400 for the package. What you get with the Fly More package are 2 extra batteries and a battery charger that can become a battery pack. So you're getting a drone, 2 extra batteries, and a battery charger that will charge the drone and the controller. You're also getting 6 sets of props, 8 sets of props, 8 sets. So you're getting a full extra set of props. You're getting a hand carry case, and that's about it. Okay, and that costs you $1,400. I bought them separately. You got to remember now, if you're going to fly, you need to have an explosive and or battery fireproof case. That case that you get with the Fly More combo is not explosive proof, is not fireproof, so you can't get on a plane with it. So if you bought the combo package, you're going to have to spend another $80 for that fireproof and explosive proof case, but you also have no room with the Fly More package for anything other than what's in the Fly More package. When you go up to the $80 case, then you'll have room for not 2 more batteries, but you can have 3 more batteries. A 6-way battery charger. One charges the controller, one charges the drone, one charges your phone, and 3 charge your batteries. 6-way charger, the fireproof case, a 6-way charger, a place for the controller, a place for the pontoon that I bought with the drone, so in case I want to land it on water, which I probably wouldn't want to do, and several other drone options that you can buy, more propellers, different. You can put 2 cell phones in. You can put 2 controllers in if you had 2 controllers and an extra drone. You can put 2 drones, 2 controllers, 2 phones. With the big case, it's a big case, like a little suitcase. That's the way you want to go. So the Fly More combo was for somebody that's going to fly in their backyard, somebody that's going to do a lot of traveling on airplanes, which I don't really plan on doing any traveling on airplanes. But if you do, you need that case. Otherwise, you get to the airport and they say, sir, you can take the drone, but leave the batteries in that garbage pail over there. They have no remorse whatsoever of throwing your stuff into a general garbage pail bin and throwing it out. Anybody that's flown, you see a bin, usually it's made out of clear plexiglass with hundreds of rolls of tape, not allowed to take tape on board, hundreds of nail clippers, nail files, lighters, cigarettes, plastic. Now, I don't know if they take that stuff home or they give it to the agents at the airport, or they just dispose of it. I have no idea. But those batteries, intelligent batteries, are $200 a piece. If you have 3 of them, that's $600. Now you get on the plane without your batteries. When you get someplace, you got to order batteries or find batteries, and that's not so easy to do. Could take a week or 10 days just to get them delivered to you. So you need the case. And that's my show for today. Let's see if we have anything else. It took him 14 years. Bentalion Brawler, thank you very much for stopping by. Now, Bentalion, I will never disclose any of my private conversations with anybody that I have on the internet, but Bentalion Brawler is up there with the top 2% of intelligent people that I've ever spoken with, ever in my whole life. And I've spoken with a lot of intelligent people. For instance, my flight instructor, whose name is Jimmy, when I was learning how to fly a Cherokee Warrior 2, low fixed wing aircraft. He lived across the street from me. He wanted to learn he wanted to be a pilot. He wanted to be a pilot, but he didn't want to go into the service. You know that Jimmy learned how to be a private pilot. Then he learned his dual engine and flight instrumentation. Then what Jimmy did was he became a flight instructor for single engine and dual engine aircraft and built up thousands of hours in the private air industry until he graduated to jet pilot, and then a jet pilot instructor, and then had thousands more hours, or whatever was necessary to become a dual engine jet pilot. Jimmy now is probably retired from TWA, but eventually, when last I spoke with him before I left America in 1995, but I did go back to America in 2009, and I saw him because he lived across the street from me. He was a pilot for TWA on a 707 or a 727. One of the few people that ever rose up through the ranks from private pilot, private pilot, single engine, private pilot, double engine, private pilot, instrument rated, dual engine, instrument rated, private pilot, jet pilot, private pilot, jet instructor, up through the ranks. That's hard. That guy, and him and I were friends since we were born. He's a little bit young. I was friends with his older brother. He's 2 years younger than me. Nice guy. Never did anything but study. Never played stickball. Never did any of that stuff. He was in co-op when we were 15 years old, talking about flying this and flying that. And he was doing all that stuff. Went to Oakdale State Community College out in Long Island, became a pilot for dual engine. That's where he learned a lot of his instrument. But he flew out of, where did I work? Fairchild Airport out in Farmingdale, Long Island. So that's my show for today. You guys got to get ready. Oh, yeah. In the title, ALO. Who is ALO DeWinter? So, ALO DeWinter, we could say ALO DeWinter exposed. Somebody believes that they know who ALO DeWinter is, his height, his weight, and what he looks like. It's all over the internet. It's not true. I know what ALO DeWinter looks like. The person who put the information out that he knows what ALO DeWinter looks like, his real name and his real face, you guys are being subjected to more blah, blah, blah. I could, when the time comes, and ALO and I go out for dinner, if he decides he's not going to show his face, he's not going to do that, but we will show him from the back. Maybe I'll put a hat on him so you can't even see the back of his head. He's not the person that's being depicted as somebody that's about 5'8", going bald. He's not that person. I don't know why you guys are so fixated on what he looks like, but whatever it is that you think ALO DeWinter looks like, everything on the internet, as far as his description is concerned, is wrong. I know his exact height, his exact weight. I know pretty much more about him than most people. He's not going to disclose his identity. Not to you, ever. You will never find out who he is. And I will never disclose his real height and weight. But you guys are on the wrong track. So you guys keep following those people that are telling you that fella on a dusty island keeps telling you he knows who. He does not know who ALO is. Why he does what he does, no one knows. There's no rhyme or reason to do what he does. He can't prove anything that he says in regards to ALO's height and weight or voice. And yet he persists on this dogmatic farce that he's on, that you don't know anything about ALO's height or weight. You don't know anything about ALO's real demeanor off air. You don't know anything about ALO's life at all. Nothing. And you probably never will, because you guys want to exploit everybody in some way. Like we had trolls. How many troll comments were there? For what purpose does that serve? It serves no purpose. It serves no purpose at all in life to troll somebody. You're talking about grown people, men or women, grown adults that sit there typing stuff out on a computer keyboard for days, hours on end, going to one channel to the other so they could see their name on a chat board. Where is the benefit for that? If I told you what I did just yesterday, first of all, you wouldn't believe me. How many people I met yesterday? Second of all, you wouldn't believe that. What managers of what hotels that I met in order to try to get permissions to go on their properties. You wouldn't believe that. In one day, I met with 2 managers of 2 hotels. In one day, I went to Alona Beach to interview somebody for something. That's 3 people that I met on a professional level. In one day, I also walked several kilometers. That's 4 things that I did that none of you people seem to be able to do. In one day, I came back and talked with somebody who changed jobs locally for about 15 minutes. One of the local Filipinos upgraded his job. And I saw him on another property when I went to go talk to the manager of the hotel. And I said, hey, how you doing? And he said, yeah. And I said, you got a new job? And he said, yes. So congratulations. It's a nice job that he got. But what do you people do? You sit there like this in a chat. You guys are, you trolls. You should really take my advice, but of course you won't. You don't do anything at all that's worthwhile, in my opinion. Oh, and as far as making fun of other people, I will tell you something. Most of the trolls are making fun of third parties because another party that has nothing to do with reality said something that may or may not be true, and in most cases is not. Yes, that's true. That's probably true, says just another poor expat. They were trolling Prunk. Prunk believed it. Just like Prunk puts out video after video after video after video when someone sends him a false narrative about myself or anybody else. He's not capable of discerning what a troll is. If you go to his channel, they build him up. They build him up. They are all messing with his head. They're laughing at him. Nobody on his channel is serious. You may get a serious comment once in a while. I mean, that's inevitable. But for the most part, when they tell, hey, you're the Philippines #1. He believes he's the #1 blogger in the Philippine genre. Go to his channel and look for his content. He has none. All his content is derived from rants and diatribes that he does from an air-conditioned bedroom. Is that a Philippines blogger? Go look at my beach videos. Go look at my videos about swimming. Oh, you can't because you're not a member of my private community. My private community gets all kinds of things sent out to them, not Patreon. I'm talking about my friends. Gets all kinds of things sent out that I do. But Prunk is not a Philippines blogger. He's a Philippines, he creates Philippines diatribes, negative, in the negative, like that guy in the Magnificent Seven. No, not the Magnificent Seven. The movie with, I don't know, Elliot Gould, not Elliot Gould, one of those guys where he's always in the negative, always in the negative. That's Prunk, always in the negative. And that's okay. It's okay for him to be in the negative for 5 years. He cannot find a positive attribute of anybody in the Philippine genre at all. There are no positive attributes other than his lifestyle. That's it. He is the only person that is living life. And he's living life in an air-conditioned bedroom. Now, if he wants to call that living life, well, then we got to give him 2 thumbs up, because that man doesn't need much to be happy. But in the same respect, him going around calling people names that he can't prove, that's not blogging. Go find some real proof. Go find proof that somebody is cheating on their taxes. Even though he can't find proof, he says it as if it's a fact. Even though he says, well, what about last week? He was set up last week. The Prunk was set up last week. Somebody came on his channel and said, hey, Prunk, what about when you called Miss Dimples the C word? And the Prunk said, I never said that. I don't recall ever saying that about her. And then the next day, the great ALO DeWinter posted that commentary up on WTF's live stream. Prunk was asked, did you call her a con artist? No, I never said that. And in the great ALO DeWinter's commentary, he put a segment of video where the Prunk called her the B word and the C word and a con artist. And going on, I will call her anything I want and blah, 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 because that is his concept. His idea of blogging is to destroy somebody else's. I haven't even gotten the drone yet, George. Matter of fact, I got a message this morning. It was supposed to be delivered by the 20th. I think today is the 19th, yeah? Yeah. It was supposed to be delivered by the 20th, and they set it back. This is drone 1. This is the Mavic SE. The Mavic SE was supposed to be delivered on the 18th, yesterday. Didn't come. Now, I got a message saying it's going to be delivered on the 20th, last night. Now I have a message this morning saying it's going to be delivered August 4th, but I'm sending that one back because I bought the Mavic Air 2S as in Superman. So it could be another week to 10 days before I even get the drone. But thanks for the question. It's a legitimate question, considering this is an update on when I'm getting my drone. I'm very happy that I'm getting it, but now when you order the drone or anything on Lazada, it tells you an unrealistic delivery date. For instance, when I ordered the drone, my first drone delivery was supposed to be delivered on the 18th. Then on the 18th, it was the 19th, and then now on the 19th, now it's August 4th. So that's 6 days off the original order date from a 5-day earlier purchase date. So in 5 days, they said it would be delivered on the 6th day. Now it's 6 more days, and it may not get delivered that day. So they give you an unrealistic time on purpose, knowing that, I'm going to get the drone in 5 days. You got to understand, when you order something from Lazada, you're never going to get it on time. Never has an order from Lazada been on time. It just doesn't happen. Now, it's August 4th from July 18th. It's August 4th. So how many days is that? 4 and 10, 14, 15. It's 16 days more. 16 days more than when you push the button to order. It says this, you pay for it. Your order will be processed and delivered by July 18th. Now I have a letter in the mail saying that my order won't go through until August 4th. So that's 16 days later than the original order date. So would I have ordered it if I knew it was going to take 2.5 weeks? Yeah, because that's what it's going to take, and that's the only place to buy it. But did they tell me the truth? No, ever. They never tell you that. I have now 8 orders. None of them are coming within 10 days of the original scheduled date. None of them. And the kicker of this is that every single item that I ordered, nothing was being shipped from overseas. Everything was in stock in Manila. It says this item is in stock in Manila, which is 250 miles away from here. And it's going to take 16 days to deliver it if it's on time then. Don't ever expect anything on time in the Philippines. Nothing. And now, could you cancel the order? Of course you could cancel the order. Then what? You can't go to Manila. It will cost you, I'll tell you what it will cost you to go to Manila, because I was going to go there. Well, I can't go there, so it doesn't matter. But I wanted to go there. But you got to have all kinds of paperwork that I don't really have. So I wanted to go. I thought when they opened up travel restrictions in the Philippines, they're gonna get ready to lock down the Philippines again. So I can't go to Manila. I can't even go to Cebu. So they're gonna lock down the Philippines again. Mark my words, it's gonna happen. But I did find out. I went online to find the price to go to Manila from Panglao Airport is $110 each way. That's $220 just to go there and come back. And you're talking about 6 hours flight time in either direction, because you got to get to the airport 2 hours early. It's an hour and a few minutes, hour and 20 minutes to Manila. You got to get to the airport. That takes a half an hour. An hour and 20 minutes of flight, that's 2 hours. 2 hours early, that's 4 hours. And then you're in the airport. You got to go find the place where you want to buy the drone. That's another hour and a half. So it's 6 hours just to get to where you want to go. Then you got to get a hotel, because you got to come back the next day. So add another $100 for food and hotel expenses. Going to cost you $300 to go to Manila. And 2 days. It's not, you got to order it online. You don't have a choice anymore. Well, I don't have any choice. But that's what they want. That's what they're doing to us. And believe me when I tell you, they're going to lock down the Philippines again. Gonna happen. Gonna happen. I've been reading the articles that they have in the various local newspapers about this new form of thing that's going around and how it's spiking, and now they want you to have, it's no longer, remember Trump, we won't talk about this much, but originally Trump said there's going to be, it's a one-shot deal. Well, now it's 2 shots and a booster, and you can't travel without the booster. And if you get the 2 shots, if you decide that you want to travel, then you have to wait 60 to 90 days to get the booster, depending on the vaccine that you take. then you can travel. Other than that, you can't. So you have to have now one vaccine. Now, let's just say if you wanted to travel and you got the vaccine on August 1st, you have to wait 30 days till September 1st. September 1st. Then you have to wait 90 days till December 1st before you can travel. So it's actually 4 months from the time you take your first vaccine. It used to be one vaccine you could travel. Now it's two plus a booster and 4 months of time. So theoretically, if you're not vaccinated, you get one on August 1st, you get one on September 1st, and then you have to wait till December 1st. Now, if you are in the process where you're overstaying, of course, you have to pay an additional $400 every 2 months for your extended, what they call, what the heck is the name of that paperwork? It's an extension to your visa. So it costs $400 every 2 months to extend your visa. Motion of consideration. Motion of consideration. So if you weren't planning properly, and that happens, now it's $400 every 2 months for the visa extension. And you could get as many visa extensions as you want for 6 months. And then you got to go. So that's... they're getting ready to lock down the Philippines again. Take my word for it. I've been talking to people. Gotta go. Thanks for stopping by, especially the Bantayan Brawler. Thank you very much for your comment and confirmation that guy is not a drone pilot. As far as the Prunk getting a bogus, that's all. He is so gullible, the Prunk. He's the most gullible person on YouTube. He believes almost anything. Thank you very much for just another poor expat, for an intelligent comment. And George Brown asked an intelligent question. He got an answer. I don't know when I'm going to get my drone. It's not looking good for this week. Well, it's looking good. What is today's date? The 19th? It's looking good for 2 weeks from today to get the first drone, the Mavic SE. And that one I'm sending back. The Mavic Air 2S, as in Sierra, could be 3 weeks from now. I'm not going to get anything no, I'm not going to get the drone that I want for 3 more weeks. So 3 more weeks I'll be flying. By then, I'll have these videos memorized. Gotta go. I gotta prepare. You guys gotta go to WTF live stream. He's on right now. He's going to talk about some things, including the Prunkster and whether or not they know exactly what ALO, the great ALO DeWinter looks like. Bye-bye for now. Go over to WTF channel, please. Be my guest. I'm Bing Permy from the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now.